Hello, welcome back everybody. I am Joel, this is FSN. We are in the midst of week number 12. Our playoff race is heating up and I think we have a good show for you today. We will take a look at some scenarios and we have a guest appearance from none other than Pimp Sov's owner, Chad. So, before we get into all that, let's bring up the standings and take a look. All right, here we go, week number 12. So go ahead and take a look at the standings as I go through who locked up what and a few of our scenarios for this week, starting with black and blue. So black division, Miller Time, has officially clinched a playoff spot and can clinch his division and a first round bye this week with a win or a loss by nose foam. He is down by 2 early to Colonel Angus 25-23. Then, of course, after them, there's a 4-way tie for third, so that is any one spot. So, jumping over to the blue division, and Funkin' Groovins has also clinched himself a playoff spot and can win his division in a first round bye this week also with a win or a Hawk Yeah loss. And speaking of Hawk Yeah, he can also lock up a playoff spot this week with a win and losses by Go Hawk Yourself and Powder. So that may not be very likely, but it is possible. Then at the bottom of the division there, Polkai is in a little bit of trouble. He will be out of the playoffs with a loss and a running late win. So good luck to you, Sean. All right, now let's talk about beggars and bitches. So let's get this out of the way first. That's right, Potentaries is out. He is eliminated. He is no longer in contention for a playoff spot. So now that that's out of the way, let's take a look at everybody else, starting with the bitches division. So, Pimp Sovs has officially clinched himself a playoff spot, and this week with a win or a running late loss, he can clinch the division and a first round bye. Behind him, running late can clinch a playoff spot with a win and a belligerence loss, which is highly unlikely. Swollen can't lock up anything just yet, and Knuckles is out with a loss and a running late and Swollen win. So you better be watching those games closely. Then jumping down to beggars, which is pretty interesting because no one can lock up anything yet in that division, not even a playoff spot after this week. Cody's 1 game out, and even with a loss, he can still catch any one of those. So that division is fully wide open. Now, at the bottom of it, Team DK must win out. Also, he must have one of the division leaders lose out and win the tiebreakers to get into the playoffs. So he is in dire straits. And that is our standings for this week. Okay, and there you have it. So, as you all know, last week, FSN and many other owners called Chad out, which then continued into our chat. And so FSN reached out to Chad this week to see if he had anything to say. So this is his reply here.
Good afternoon, everybody. Well, I did win that game against Jeff, but the sucky thing is, I've been on vacation. I mean, ever since I started out this league, made a great trade with Ryan, I just haven't really paid attention that much. But I am a man of my word, so I will chug a beer for the Jeff bet. Sorry, Jeff. Your team's just not that good. But here's to you, Jeff. Now, on to the rest of you. I'm glad that you guys could all make videos about me, but every one of you that made a video about me lost to me. And the only team that I'm going to see in the championship is probably the Jeff guy. He's, has a pretty decent team, but it's not that good. And guess what? I'll prove it to him in the championship.
Okay, so that was Chad Pimp Sovs calling the championship now. So apparently the old fuck can still chug. Cheers to you, Chad. And speaking of cheers, let's jump into this week's segment, Cheers and Jeers. Okay, so let's start by saying cheers to our leagues. It is week number 12, and only one team has been knocked out of the playoffs. 2 games were decided by 1 point last week, and multiple others by less than 15. The divisions are wide open, up in the air, anybody's game. And so, thanks to everybody for, competing to the end, hitting the waiver wire, and turning in roster every week. Except for you, Jeff. We know you were on vacation. So, cheers to our leagues. Okay, next, Jeers to Powder, who is in the midst of a 4-game losing streak after losing Travis Henry to injury. He IR'd Chris Carson, Travis Henry, and Michael Thomas all on the same day and went from sole possession to second place to fighting for a playoff spot. So, Dale, you might want to hit the waiver wire. Jeers to you. All right, next, cheers to America, both the country and the team. They are the points leader since week 5. And sitting just 1 game outside of the playoffs, they can still unseat any of the teams ahead of them. So the rest of that division should be nervous. Cheers to you, America. Okay, next, cheers to you, Todd, who lost to Nose Foam last week by 1 point, giving Nose Foam sole possession of second place. Todd left Aaron, Mr. Rogers himself, all hopped up on horse pills on his bench. Aaron went out and put on 47 fucking points and 4 touchdowns. The extra points would have given Todd the easy win. So, cheers to you, Todd. Okay, next, cheers to Miller Time for flying under the radar all year on a 6-game winning streak and able to lock up his division this week. He is second behind Ryan in the points race and can very easily catch him. So, cheers to you, Fred. Okay, next, cheers to Running Late and Beggars and Bitches, back-to-back champions and back in the mix this year. I think I speak for all of us when I say, we hope you fucking lose it all. Cheers to you, Running Late. Okay, and finally, cheers to you, Jeff. Although maybe I should say cheers since I'm playing you. You benched Dawson Knox this week, who scored 2 touchdowns and 17 points. So, when FSN reached out to ask why, you said to us, well, Tyler Higbee's having a monster year. You can't bench this guy. So, let's take a look at it. Coming into this week, of course, Dawson Knox had 72 points compared to Tyler Higbee's 48. He had 5 touchdowns compared to the 3 touchdowns for Higbee, and 383 yards compared to 344 with Higbee. Now, this is with 2 games less. Dawson Knox missed 2 games to injury. So, cheers to you, Jeff, and thank you. Okay, so that is our show for this week. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again next week. And as always, good luck, losers.